Welcome to ProPractice, your guide to refine, enliven, and illuminate the piano repertoire. I'm Josh Wright, and today's lesson is on a piece by Maurice Ravel, which is called Pavane pour un Infante Defunte. And I'm sure my French is just terrible. It means pavane for a dead princess or a fallen princess. And a lot of times we think of this as being played at a funeral. So people go kind of crazy with going so slow. And it is true. He does mark the tempo as 54 for the quarter note. Originally, Ravel had played it much faster, but as he orchestrated it in 1909, and eventually he slowed the tempo back down. But he also told people, don't think too much about the title. I kind of liked the alliteration, Infante. He liked kind of how it rolled off the tongue almost, so it just sounded really good. And he said, think of it as a young princess who was doing this pavane or dancing the pavane, and now she is no more. So it's not like just a simply tragic piece. It was more of a title that he really liked, and he said don't read too much into it. He also, Ravel was pretty adamant about following his score exactly. He said, you don't have to make this into this huge programmatic piece. And I agree, Impressionist music is very, it's meant for the senses. So as we go through this today, I want to keep that in mind, that we don't want to go too romantic and too sappy with things. We want the music to speak. This first little marking, assez doux mais d'une sonorité large, or however you say that, sweet enough, but with kind of a deep or a wide sonority. So we don't want to, make it unsweet. We want it to be sweet, but still, kind of rich. Long breaths. As you can see right there, go to there, then back off to there. Okay, and in here, keep those as soft as you can. Same thing in here. A little deeper than the middle voices in the right hand. And finally, an exercise for each of you. ProPractice is all about making you the most efficient at practicing as you can become, as well as giving you ideas to improve on technique, musicality, interpretation. So let's go over a little technique that you can use. And this really helps. I have a student who we're studying this together right now. I've actually never personally played this piece, so you're going to see me kind of in action working on this today. But he said this really worked for him. And it certainly works for everyone that I've taught this to. Piano on your middle voices. Forte and legato on your upper voices. Okay, again. With left hand. Make sure it's not... Those are inner voices, okay? Now try it calmed down. And I think there's something significant about those staccatos. I mean, you don't want to play it... I don't think that's what Ravel had in mind. I think there is a certain bum, 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 bum integrity of sound that comes when you pedal through staccatos. It's kind of like a mallet instrument, like a xylophone. Bum, 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 bum. A mallet does strike, or whatever you call them, hammer. It does strike the xylophone or any of those other malleted instruments, but it still has resonance. And I think that's what happens in the pedal. Notice the difference. Versus. See how it's a little more vibrant? So we have to be super soft, but it kind of bum, bum. people like a little more pedal, some people like a little cleaner pedal. So at the very least, change. And if you like a little cleaner, change. And holding that through so you don't lose that. So pretend that you're kind of finger pedaling. So you hold your bass notes through. Okay, let's try all of that together. And just sit and listen to that over and over again. If you can't even play those first 5 notes well, the rest of the piece is going to be really tough. So sit and work on this until it feels good. Another thing you can do is have very flat fingers. And just... Notice I'm not letting it turn into a dirge. I believe it was Ravel. He told someone, it's not a dead pavane for a princess, it's a pavane for a dead princess. So don't let the piece get so slow and sappy and romantic that it loses momentum. We want to keep that momentum going. And notice I didn't do too much rubato. You know, maybe sometimes I'll breathe on a note, then keep going. And the other thing that I want you to focus on is when you have these ties, that you keep singing through there. That's so important. A lot of students go, or they'll go, and it doesn't even relate. So wherever this, or you could do the opposite and then list. But don't make it unrelated. Make the melody sing throughout there. Another thing that I think is really an easy... Thank you so much for watching. As with all ProPractice videos, the first section is free. If you'd like to view the rest of this video, or if you're interested in learning more about ProPractice, just click on the link on this screen or on the link in the comments section below. Thank you for your support of ProPractice.